I went back to the swamp where my father died. I was 7 the last time I saw that place, and I spent the last 20 years trying not to remember it, trying to pretend I didn't hear what I heard or see what I saw. They said he drowned, that he slipped under while we were out swimming and never came back up. But even when I was a kid, I knew something about that night didn't make sense. I didn't just lose my dad that day. I lost part of my memory. My mind blocked it out, like a dream you wake up from choking. Now that I'm older, I need to know the truth. I need to go back. We used to fish that swamp together. He'd take me out on weekends. We'd pack up the truck, haul out the rods, cooler, the tent. We'd pick a spot, pitch the tent, swim if it was hot enough, and stay out late, listening to the frogs and cicadas scream. It was peaceful until that last trip. That final day, we'd been hiking through a remote part of the swamp, looking for a new fishing hole. We set up camp near a cypress grove I only half remembered. Knotted trees with bark like split skin and shallow black water between the roots. I remember swimming there, and I remember lights. But then nothing. They found his body, and they found me, unconscious, lying on my back at the water's edge, like someone had placed me there gently. I don't know who saved me, but last week I hired a guide to take me back. A local man named Harlan, old, leathery skin, voice like dead leaves. He didn't talk much, but when I told him where I wanted to go, he gave me a long look and said, "The swamp has its own rules." We rode in silence most of the way, gliding over still water, moss hanging from the trees like soaked rope. Eventually, he cut the engine and pointed, "This is where I leave you. If you see lights tonight, don't follow them. And don't speak your name, not after dark." I wanted to ask more, but he had already started the boat back up. I set up camp alone, same as my dad had years ago. That night, I sat by the water with a lantern, trying to remember. And I did, in pieces. We were swimming, my dad laughing, calling me fish bait, daring me to swim out further. Then the lights, floating above the water, pale green, flickering like lanterns in the mist. We thought they were fireflies at first, but they moved in a pattern, like they were leading us somewhere. And we followed. I saw him again that night, my dad, standing ankle deep in the water just outside the ring of cypress roots. He didn't speak, just stared, pale, hollow-eyed, not rotting, just stuck, like the swamp hadn't killed him, just claimed him. And I remembered the rest. We followed the lights. They got brighter, faster, spinning like fire. My dad turned to me and said, "Run!" Then he shouted his name, and the swamp took him. I passed out as he screamed. Now I know what he did. He gave it his name. He offered himself so the swamp would let me go, and I knew what I had to do. I walked down to the water's edge. The lights were waiting. I looked them dead in the center and said the words I didn't remember knowing. I said its name, the name of the thing that lives in the swamp, and then I gave it mine. The water surged, lights spun, and something began to pull me from below. I didn't resist, not at first, because I saw him, my dad, finally free, his figure breaking apart like smoke, rising into the mist. And then I felt the weight, the roots, wrapping around my legs, pulling me down. But it stopped. I looked up, coughing, soaked to the waist. Harlan was standing over me, holding a lantern made of bone and wire, whispering something I couldn't understand. The swamp stilled, the lights vanished, and the water let go. He helped me out without a word, and then I recognized him. Harlan was the one that pulled me out of the water all those years ago. He hadn't aged a day. I stared at him, shivering, and asked, "Why?" He just shook his head and said, "It wasn't your time, but it will be. The swamp don't forget, boy. It just waits." I don't know how long I have, a year, a week, a night, but the swamp has my name now, and when it calls again, I won't have a guide to save me. So I'm telling you this in case you're the one to find me, floating between the trees like my father once did, and maybe then you'll set me free too.